So, welcome, mindful folk, to the series around heading or looking skyward. And we've explored ways of relating to our experiences through the elements before we headed skyward. And we've also looked at the senses before and including when we look skyward within our practice. So today we're going to explore opposites, or things that seem like opposites, and exploring whether opposites make whole or whether opposites are opposites, and maybe some of our responses to those before we head skyward and explore that space in the sky, in our visual senses, or in our feeling sense of what experience is in the moment. So most of you are really familiar now with your setup, but before we kind of settle in, I'm going to actually do two movements today that you could choose to explore to settle in. Up to you, or you can just leave the movements out and find your own space to sit, to lie, to find a sense of alertness, but also a sense of relaxation, to set yourself up for the practice. So the movements, if you want to join me for the movements, are, so what I'll do is I'll show you both movements, and then that gives you the option to close your eyes and not look at me. And to just have your own inner space if that's what you choose. So the movements are sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling, taking them out to the sides, and then bringing them in front of you to just be on the lap for a second before we repeat. So that's the first movement we'll do. And the second movement will be having the arms similar to the starting place in a way for taking the arms up. So shoulders rest back a little bit here if possible to stabilize the shoulders. The palms face outwards. And then we allow the shoulders to rotate. And then we open up. So basically palms up, and then we circle the shoulders and the arms round. And we open up. So it's kind of like, part of this is like a flower pose. So we're kind of opening up to the light here, and then we're closing in for safety, if you like. So the shoulders are moving, and maybe a little bit the back moves forward, and the chest closes in a bit, and then we open out. So those are the two movements that we will explore, and that's just to support us in sitting safely and support us in sitting well. So settling in if you want to settle in. If you want to do the movements, then we'll just do 3 of the first movements and 6 of the second movement. So if you want to join with the movement, let the arms come out slightly to the side with the palms initially facing outwards away from you, and then sweeping the arms up, lengthening if you can through the side body, and then bringing the arms down the center onto the lap. Repeating the second time, you might want to take an in-breath as you sweep the arms up, and an out-breath as you bring the hands down. So just float the arms down, they don't need to be straight arms. Third time, sweeping the arms up, lengthening, maybe even pressing your bum into the chair if you're in the chair, just to give a little bit more alertness for the moment, and down, let the shoulders relax. Steady yourself, so you're feeling your back, so you're feeling your arms. And then we'll release the hands and the arms away from the body again, broadly where we were with the first movement. Feel that opening across the chest, shoulders go back, shoulder blades kind of come together. And then let the shoulders come forward, and let the arms rotate so the palms face more away from the body. So in breath, maybe to open up through the chest, through the shoulders. Out breath, the shoulders come forward and the arms rotate. Last time, opening up closing down. So we're going to finish with an open up. So let's just open up and then rest the hands wherever you're comfortable. So it might be just taking the hands to the lap in some way. So we've moved, or some of us have moved, and now we can just sit with a sense of energy in the body, a bit of reminder about the potential sort of support through the spine that we often look for when we want to sit, so that we can sit comfortably with an openness through the chest, length through the spine, and feel sitting bones maybe, or at least the bum on the chair. If we're lying, then we can just relax. If we want to do a mini stretch before we settle, then that's fine. Otherwise, just settle in whatever way is comfortable for you. So, how are you settling? So a little bit of a check-in. Has the movement helped? Has the movement taken you away from where you were? If you did the movement, has the movement enlivened the body to feel a little bit more wakefulness in your relaxed or working towards relaxed state? How do you feel in the body? How are you settling in the body? Where in the body is alive to you? Where in the body is a little bit dull or neutral maybe? Where do you feel the warmth in your body? Where do you feel cooler in your body, or cold, or refreshed area? Where gives you a connection to the ground? Where gives you a connection to the space around and above you? Where do you feel the back body? Where do you feel the front body? Where do you feel in the right side of the body? Or what do you feel in the right side of the body? And what do you feel in the left side of the body? Where do you feel strong? do you feel soft? Where do you feel the outside of the body? Where do you feel the inside of the body? Where do you feel the in-breath? Where do you feel the out-breath? So anything you're drawn towards in your experience. Anything you're moving away from in your experience. So, kind of explored a little bit about our experience of opposites, finding connections. And some of those may have felt opposites, and some of them might feel like just another aspect of your experience where there was no right or wrong or attraction and repulsion, maybe it's too strong a word. So can we find a union of opposites where we can maybe sit with both experiences? So can we sit with the right side of our body and the left side of our body? What happens when we concentrate on the right side of our body? What happens to the left side? And when we focus on the left side of our body, what happens to our right side? what happens when we join the right side and the left side together to feel the whole of our body. What happens if we feel the ground and space around us at the same time? What happens if we feel the in-breath and the out-breath? Continuing to follow the in-breath and the out-breath for a little while. And rather than see it as the in-breath and the out-breath, what happens when we just see it as the breath? What happens if we just experience it as one? Like a wave in the ocean. So bringing to mind envisioning, imagining your sky. It may be the same sky that we visited the last 2 weeks, for those that have been with us. It might be a new sky. What's your sky today? Is it just sky? Does the sky have a relationship to something else? To the sea, to the land, to a tree line? If it's just sky, is it all the same? Is the light coming from one direction or the other? The clouds in the sky? So even if it's just a blue skyscape, we're seeing the light or the sun through that. If there's a night sky, we're seeing the stars or the moon. So even in the sky, there is rarely one thing. There might be birds flying by or some other connection to that vision of sky. So while we're in our space of imagination, space of our memory maybe, space that we find inviting, space that settles us. Maybe uplifts us, maybe helps us feel peaceful. We could just try something out if we want to. So you could just be in this space and really see it, really hear it, really smell it, really taste it like we did last week, if that feels something that you want to explore and repeat. Or it could be instead that we explore the space through writing words in the sky. So it could be like clouds creating the shape of words and letters. So while we're in the sky, if you just write the word courage in the sky, I have to spell it right. That would just mean you can't spell words. How does it feel to write the word, to see the word in the sky? Does that feel connected to you? Courage. How does it feel in the body to be seeing that word in the sky, in the space? So we can gently allow that to just dissipate, blow with the wind. It's like it's rubbed out on the blackboard. So the next suggestion of a word is joy or joyful. You could write in the sky. And again, just noticing how it feels to see that word, write that word. You feel that in the body. Joy, joyful. So, again, you can let the word joy or joyful just melt away, blown away in your space, in your sky. And I'm going to leave you to write your own words, write your own connections. So what would you like to write in the sky? Is it something about how you feel now? Is it something about an intention that you would like to generate? Is it something that makes you whole? So don't worry if you can't come up with words. Get a sense of wholeness, or just go back to the words that we drew together. Either that you feel you might need them, or that you might be experiencing them in your body. It could be any word. So I'll leave you to explore for a little while. So feeling free to stick with one word and really get to know it, experience it in the body, breathe it in, or play around with a few. Good to make a real connection with that in the body and the breath. next few breaths, just really taking in what you want to take in. To feel more whole, more connected. And then in a moment or two, I'll ring the bell. Let the bowl sing. So maybe time to listen to sounds in your world and to take the outside in and be present to the world around us. And maybe then, when you're ready, just moving the hands and the feet a little bit. And if you wish to, you can keep the eyes closed if you want to. You could just repeat the first movement, which is sweeping the arms out to the side and bringing them down in front of us. So just 3 times if you wish to. Taking the arms up towards the sky, maybe looking up. And bringing the hands back down to earth and the connection with your lap and the body. Breathing in, maybe to sweep up and extend up, maybe even taking the back away from the chair here. And bring the hands softly to earth, landing on the lap. One more time, breathing in, opening up. And hands coming down towards the earth and relaxing the shoulders. Okay, so time to move through and into the rest of our day. Maybe with some elements of useful exploration in the practice. So maybe you have a few things that you want to live with today. Maybe you want to look out to the sky and just remind yourself from time to time. So yeah, the practice is the practice within the half-hour session, and then what really happens is when it can kind of land and be processed and potentially support you change the way you relate a little bit. So yeah, just be interested if that happens. Don't need to push it, don't need to force it, don't need to worry if it doesn't happen. It's just a way of practicing. So thank you for joining week 3 of Heading Skyward. Look forward to being with you, either in reality or through recording next week. Take care.